99.1 FM, CKXS. It's time once again for the All About Real Estate show. Pete Allaer joins us today from Riverside Realty. How are you today?
I'm good, Greg. How are you?
I am excellent, thanks. Ready for another beautiful Saturday around here. Warmer ones anyway.
Yes, the weather seems to be getting a bit warmer. It's kind of nice.
I like it. So today, I got to ask you a question. So I've seen a little bit of stuff on Facebook where people are posting letters that they're getting dropped off in their mailbox that are asking them about their house and potentially selling their house, and that they are interested in buying it without using real estate. Have you seen these letters? Have you seen some of the ones popping up on Facebook?
Oh, yeah. Yes, for sure. For sure. There's been a lot of them. Like, I don't know, we're up to like 4 or 5 or something. I mean, they've been inserts. I think a lot of them have been like inserts in like the Courier Press or something, right? Just like a flyer.
Right.
And I would agree with you. I've seen a lot of, there's been a lot of chatter on Facebook about what is this all about? You know, is this a scam? What's going on? You know, what's going on with real estate in general in town? I mean, we obviously are in, you know, uncharted territories with, you know, the town of Wallaceburg and real estate. I mean, yes, our prices have gone up substantially in the last, call it 3 to 4 years.
Right.
As far as the letters are concerned, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of buyers are in somewhat of a desperate state, right? So they're in a desperate state if they want to buy a house to move into, because maybe it's their first home. They're in a desperate state if they are possibly out of town. We've talked a lot about out of town, right? So they're in a desperate state when it comes to the people out of town that have sold their houses, and now they have till April 1st to buy one. So those people are at somewhat of a desperate state. I think that because interest rates are so low, and because property values have climbed the way they have, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are investors, investors that might have a little bit of money, and they're sort of, you know, they're not sure about the stock market. They see this graph of you know, real estate climbing, and they want to get in on it. So you've got those investors that are trying to get in on it. So on the buying side, you've got a lot of desperation, and a lot of demand, and a lot of people buying. So not only do you have people buying, let's say, like we used to have, just, you know, first time buyers, or people, you know, want to move up. You got all these other, this whole other group that's here now wanting to buy, right? So because of that, I think these letters are being sent out primarily from investors or investor groups. I mean, they try to make it look like they're, you know, they're sort of, you know, maybe, oh, I'm a local guy, you know.
Well, they're supposedly handwritten without your name on the top, which, if it was really a personal note, I would hope they would put your name on the top of a letter. I mean, I've seen people try to make it look like it's personal note when it's not.
No.
And, you know, at least take the time and research who you're going to. If they're really that interested in your house, I would hope they would say, "Hi, Brenda and John. I was in the neighborhood and I saw your house." That might be different. I mean, but these are mass letters that they're trying to.
Yeah, they're basically trying. The long and the short of it is they're trying to buy your house before anyone else knows it's for sale, and get a better deal on it than what they would have to pay if they went through the normal channels. I mean, if you have 10 buyers for your house or more, I mean, you know, we listed a house, a week ago. We had 51 showings.
Wow.
Okay. So listed a house, 51 showings, 19 offers.
Insane. Wow.
So, I mean, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
So if you're the seller of that house, and I totally understand, you're a seller, you're a buyer. Two different ends of the stick here. If you're the buyer, yeah, that's not a very nice situation to be in. But it is what it is. I mean,
it's the market right now.
It's the market.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, It's the law of supply and demand. So the demand is the buyers. There was, let's just say there were 51 people obviously interested in it enough so there were 51 buyers. Okay, and there's one house. Well, I mean, that's a pretty simple mathematical equation in your head here, right? Like 51 buyers, one house, 19 actual offers, of which probably another 10 people would have offered, but they were just like, forget it, right? There's too many
people.
So at the end of the day, if you're that seller and you just, and obviously they want to sell their house and they probably got a letter, so they pull out that letter and just call the guy and say, oh, I want X amount for my house. Guaranteed they would not have gotten what they got for their house if they just decided to sell it for whatever, right? So the people are trying to buy it cheaper. As far as the other chatter you have is that, us realtors somehow are influencing the price of houses. We're doing something that's somehow, in one word, one comment, corrupt, right? And I'm like, well, obviously those people don't understand the system and what's happening.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a seller, so what do you want to do, right? Do you want to get as much as you can for your house? I would say 9 out of 10 people probably do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say 10 out of 10, but that's just me.
Yeah,
Would you like to take less money for your house? I don't think so.
Yeah, so it's different if it's like, okay, I have a house and I'm selling it to my nephew or something. Like maybe if you're doing that,
sure,
fine,
that's
right?
different.
But if you're just selling your house on the open market and probably having to buy another one, right? So that's the other situation is like, it's awesome. I'm the seller. Yeah, this is great. I love this side of it. But now I have to buy a house, and now I'm going to be one of those 51 people now. Not so I've said it before. I mean, we don't make the rules. I mean, we just follow them, and we have to. It's a little bit like anything you do in life is like a football game, right? Like you have to, dodge and roll with whatever's happening, and you have to stay on top of what's happening, and you just have to do what's best for your sellers if you're the listing side. And I mean, that's why I always say it's very important as a buyer as well to get a good, experienced, reliable realtor on your side, because that realtor will be able to help you, guide you through some of this. The other comment that was made that I wanted to bring up was, I think one comment was that the realtors are telling the buyers to offer more money and all these things. Well, I don't know what other realtors do, but I know in our team, we don't do that. What we do is we coach the person saying, okay, we just give them the facts.
Right.
Say, look, there's this many offers. This is the asking price. Typically speaking, when this happens, these are the percentage over that things are going. But what I always tell my buyers is, you need to decide how bad you want the house and what number would you be comfortable with paying. So if the house is call it a $200,000 asking price house, and if you're comfortable paying up to $250,000, okay, then you tell me that. If you're not, then don't. I say, if you're not comfortable at $250,000, don't offer $250,000. Like you pick the number. Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll give you the facts. We'll coach you a bit, But so I mean, I know for sure I can speak definitely for myself. I mean, I'm not telling someone, oh no, you got to go $275,000. Like no, or no. I just say, what's your number? And then, I think we talked about this last week. Well, if it works and you get the house, then great. If it doesn't work, well, we'll
wasn't meant to be.
See what happens next time, right? It's not. I 100% agree. It's a tough situation for buyers. It's a great situation for sellers. If all you have to do is sell a house and not buy another one, it's great. It's awesome. But it is what it is. And is it going to change? I don't know. I mean, if interest rates go up, it might change. If they stay the same, I don't see it changing, for the next couple of years. But I don't have a crystal ball either. Right. So,
all right, it's good info there for you, and hopefully that helps some of you who've got those letters in the mail and are trying to get through the real estate market. We're going to talk about the real estate market, and we've got a listing to get to coming up here.
Yeah, we do have. Yes.
We'll get to that in just a moment here. You're listening to the All About Real Estate Show on 99.1 FM. 99.1 CKXS, the All About Real Estate Show continues on our Saturday here. So we wanted to get to a listing. You've got a new one for us all to peruse, Pete?
Yes, we do. We have one new listing this week. Hopefully this nice warm weather will shake loose a few more listings.
Well, the positive steps. The downtown condo project is renting out as of March 1st. So they're doing that. You've got that new apartment complex on Park Ave. There's, I want to say, like 80 to 100 different apartments there. You might shake loose some of those seniors that are looking at selling, downsizing, getting to something smaller, not ready to go to a senior's home yet, but want to live on their own and have a little bit less to do. Don't have to worry about cutting the grass and shoveling snow. So maybe those two big projects will open up some real estate. I hope so too. And hopefully we can... Speaking of shaking people loose, hopefully we can shake some of the properties around Wallaceburg loose in order to maybe build a couple of these things right here in Wallaceburg. And I'm diligently working on that every week. I'm getting to be a real pest to certain people, but hey, get it done.
You got to get it moving.
We could use a nice new apartment complex, or even side by side.
Yeah, just something that just any kind of building. We need to be building here in town. We need it. We're the only municipality in Chatham-Kent that is not building, and that's one of the main messages that I repeat and repeat and repeat with the powers to be, that we need something, and we have people out there that would do it. It's just a matter of shaking some land loose to do it. So, the latest listing we have, it's 396 Wallace Street, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I think it's priced at $199. It's a decent size, sort of family home, affordable family home. So check that one out on riversite.com. And, anything else, any of the realtors you want to contact, any of our team, riversite.com is the best place to go. Has all their cell numbers. The one last thing I would talk about on that letter thing that we discussed earlier, if you get a letter and if you're thinking of selling your house, it would be a very important exercise for you to reach out to a realtor. Reach out to one of our realtors, reach out to myself, anyone from our team. Give us a call and at least have a discussion with us if you're thinking about this, because, I think there's no obligation for a phone call, but it may be something that would really pay to do that. Because, again, if you're selling, I guess, unless you want to, give somebody a real break, you should probably speak to someone that knows values, knows what's happening today, and can coach you in a way that is going to be beneficial for you on the other end.
If I can give an analogy for the letter that might help people understand it, imagine if you went to an auction and you were hoping to get something at the auction, and you show up at the auction and nobody else is there. What do you think the price is going to be for the item that you want? Is it going to be more or less than what you're expecting to pay? It's going to be less because you're the only bidder. There's one person that's going to bid on this. They might have a set price, so you decide, I'm going to do that set price, and if not, you walk away. If you got one person that you're going to talk with about selling your house, instead of making the rest of the market know that you've got something for sale, you're missing out on an opportunity to sell your house for the best price. And I think that's what you're trying to do as a realtor,
100%. Right? When we get hired as a listing to list your house, our number one job is to get you as much as we can for your house. Yeah. That's the law of sales, right? It's like, I have this house for sale. And 5 years ago, the theory was 5 years ago you asked $199 and you got $180. Mm-hmm. That's what happened.
Right.
5 years ago. Then slowly it got to be where, that 180 became closer to the asking price. Now you ask $199 and you get over. And why is that? The number of buyers and the number of homes for sale. Mm-hmm. Simple as that, right? It's just simple as that. And I've said this story a couple times, before, where I've had, a few years, not even a few years, a year ago, I've had a guy say, hey, I want 175 for my house. I'll be happy. The neighbor wants to buy it. We asked 175 and he sold it for 230. So, I mean, he would have sold it. Mm-hmm. Really, let's face it, he would have sold it for 175 because he didn't want to pay commission, basically, right? He thought, wow. And his neighbor said, wow, why would you pay commission? I mean, come on. They just, those realtors just throw a sign up and collect checks, right? That's the theory. Well, I mean, he got $230,000 for his house, right? So, which is $55,000 more than he would have gotten if he would have just sold it to the neighbor.
And what's commission now? Like ultimately 5%?
Yeah, 4 to 5%, right? Sure. So I mean,
do the math on that.
Call it 10 or 12 grand or whatever, right? So even you take that 10 or 12,000 off of, 10 grand off of the 230s, 220, he still got 45,000 more, right? So I mean, and again, you're the seller. I said 9 out of 10 people, would want that, right? Why wouldn't you? Because he had to rebuy, right? So this guy was rebuying.
Right.
So, I mean, he was going to be faced with rebuying and in the same situation. So that's what people have to think about. And I get the buyers are frustrated. I mean, we are too for buyers frustrated, but you just got to understand that's what's happening.
Yep. Did we mention where the house was? Did we
mention
okay,
396 Wallace Street.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm frustrated with those letters too, Pete. I don't know why that bugs me, but it does. And I don't know if it's because I think somebody's trying to capitalize on this market and our hometown, and they're coming from outside the area. I think that bothers me a little bit, but it irks me, and I don't know why it does. It shouldn't. There's other things in life to worry about, but anyways, I'm glad to see that you took the time, talk about that. Hopefully that helps people out a little bit with the whole situation in the market and where it stands right now, and we'll keep you up to date here. Thanks for coming in today. Of course, if they want more details,
Riverside.com, best place to go to our website, and they can get all the info they want, all the phone numbers they want.
Good stuff. He's Pete Allaer from Riverside Realty. That's the All About Real Estate show for you this week here on 99.1 FM.